Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Gulfstream today. Ron Nicoletti along with Katie Stazak, and another beautiful day. We just got to get a stamp. Another beautiful day in South Florida. Fast lane track, firm turf course. That Rainbow Six is getting real nice. We got a 9-race card today, so it starts in race number 4. Remember the last couple of days, Wednesday and Thursday, it started in race number 3. Make sure you mark this down. There's over just about $432,000 in the pool, so the carryover today going to be well over like $600,000, and you can get that with a 20-cent wager. And they didn't hit the super high five, Katie, for the second day in a row, and it's going to be almost $14,000.
Great plays you can make today. We had carryovers in both of these wagers yesterday, and we're going to have them again today. And as they grow, more people bet into them, and they grow at an even quicker rate. So it'd be exciting to see where it goes today.
Yeah, yesterday they did a good job betting the Rainbow Six. There were 128 tickets live going into the last race with no singles, so they were right around it yesterday and almost had it nailed, but not quite. So as we mentioned, going to start with about $432,000. Be well over $600,000. Who knows how much they bet? Well, like you said, as it gets bigger, they bet more and more, and it's a lot of fun. You know, before we look at today's 9-race card, we got a really nice 11-race card tomorrow, and we have a stakes race tomorrow called the Orange Blossom. And we wanted to go back and show you one of the horses that's in that race, Katie.
We have a great field lined up for the Orange Blossom tomorrow. We're going to take a look at one of the top contenders. She's the 4th choice on the morning line. This is Joanne's Wildcat. She is 4-1 on the morning line in tomorrow's Orange Blossom, but she is on a 3-race win streak here at Gulfstream. A very speedy mare, going to be on or near the lead, almost a guarantee, but she's been running off with her races very easily for trainer Larry Pilati, as you can see here in her last start.
Yeah, I mean, really, that's what my top pick is in there today. Our free roller's in there, too, has an awful lot of speed. I don't know who's going to outrun each other the first turn, but I'm just thinking this horse might be able to sit a real nice trip in there, but we got the return of a little Alexis in there, too.
Yes, a little Alexis, 3-1 on the morning line. Hasn't run since contesting the Breeders' Cup Filly and Mare Sprint. She is undefeated here at Gulfstream and Grade 1 Stakes Place. Very exciting to have her back. This will be her 4-year-old debut.
And Calavacareza ended the day yesterday with a victory there, right? So
also coming off of a long layoff.
Coming off a long layoff since July, so this one not as long as the one he won with yesterday. But that's tomorrow. It's going to be a lot of fun. An 11-race card. First race post till 1 p.m. But let's get to Friday's card here. Our first race on this day is a 1-mile claimer, fillies and mares, 4-year-olds and up, $12,500. We'll have 7 runners. If you look at the board right now, early in the wagering, it is number 5, got the Heart of Gold, taking all the early money. I went a different way, and I believe we both went the same way with the number 4, Hot Coffee, who's going to move to the Antonio Sano barn today.
Yes, he is 23% first start off the claim, and this one is coming off a most impressive 9.5 length victory at the $6,250 level here on March 22nd. That was also at this mile distance. She has 5 wins at this distance, so does very well. Has a tendency to get a little bit fractious at the gate, what I've noticed. Hasn't really seemed to affect her all that much, but I'd love to see her be able to relax a little bit for the new connections. And if she runs anything like she did in her last start, this slight step up in class shouldn't pose a problem at all.
Almost looks like she had too much coffee while she's going to the gate. And that is number 4, Hot Coffee. Another horse coming off an impressive win. We both had in second is My House. Going to try and make it 2 in a row today after drawing off. Really walloped the field of 6250 claimers. Won that race by 13 lengths. Despite, go back and look at this race, the horse drifted out a little bit in the stretch, but it might have been bored. It was so far in front.
This horse really comes out with these really emphatic wins on occasion. She's won by open lengths before, 18 lengths back in December, but she regressed a little bit off of that effort. I think that might be the case again today, and couldn't really blame her if that happened.
Yeah, another horse that I had on my ticket, and I see you did not use. You went with the 7. First acquittal was the 1, Wild Horse Annie. Moved to the Peter Walden barn, and there's a reason to take an extra look. You know, he's 25% with new claims. You know, he has a perfect stalking style. I think there's going to be a lot of speed in this race. He can stalk. You got to get away from the inside, maybe move to the outside of these horses and come running late. Edgar Zaya. So I thought I'd throw Peter Walden on the ticket.
And I threw in First Acquittal. It's going to be taking a pretty big class drop for this. We'll see see how she responds to that. She'll have Tyler Gaffalione in the irons, who recorded 3 wins on yesterday's card.
Yeah, he's starting to ride in really great form. We mentioned that over the last couple of days. So Tyler Gaffalione, he's got about 8 or 10 wins over the last week or so, couple of weeks or so. So it's really, progressing day by day. Let's go to race number 2. It's on the turf. The turf course listed as firm. 1 mile maiden claimers, 3-year-olds and up, $35,000. Nice field of 9 runners will go to the post. And we want to go back and show you a race from back on March 5th. It is number 12 that day, Wildcat Runner.
Yeah, Wildcat Runner. I really liked the race from this colt last time out. He's on the lead here. This is going 1 mile and a 16th, and he's going to just get caught at the wire. You see there by the 4-horse, the only horse anywhere in the vicinity of Wildcat Runner in this last start. And today he's going to be cutting back to 1 mile, which I think helps him. I think he's going to end up in a similar scenario in this race because there does not seem to be a lot of pace again. So I think he's going to be the one to catch, and I think having a little bit shorter to go, he'll be able to hold on.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't find any other speed. I'm sure somebody's going to go up and try and run with him early, but I think that might be a moot point. I think this horse looks like the controlling speed. With that said, 6 horses will be on the lead. But we both have number 2, Wildcat Runner. I went to the 9, Dr. Nefario in second, and I'll tell you why. This one is another cutting back to 1 mile after angling out the finish. I thought a respectable 4th against this same caliber competition, going 1 mile into 16th. Dale Roman's win on yesterday's card. Leandro Conclaves in the saddle. And I just thought if that pace scenario materializes where someone goes up and challenges the Wildcat Runner, it might set up nicely for number 9, Dr. Nefario.
What about Markets here? Talk about a class drop, and we do talk about class drops a lot. This one is coming out of the Grade 2 Mac Darmida, where he lost to 2-time Eclipse champion Main Sequence. There is no Main Sequence in this race, I can assure you. You have to throw that race out. That was just way too much to expect of this colt. But prior to that, he was 4th, only beaten 2.5 lengths in a maiden special weight here on January 23rd. Was also 3rd at the $50,000 level in January. If he can run back to that form, he can definitely get a piece of this.
Yeah, and he's a second choice on the morning line, so trying to get a little cuter going with the 9 horse in there. And we both used the number 7 sharp stick. And I had to use that horse. I'm always saying that. What do you got to get hit with a sharp stick or something like that? This one showed promise on the turf. Was here last March, now drops to this $35,000 level. First start since failing to handle that polytrack surface at Keeneland, but that was almost a year ago. So Brian Lynch, he's 20% with a greater than 180-day layoff, and he's got Edgar Prado at top. I just thought this course was an intriguing possibility in the race.
I agree. I have him on the ticket as well, and really the debut on the grass here at Gulfstream was pretty positive when he ran in maiden special weight company. He is coming off a long layoff, but this will be the first time he's run for a tag.
And the barn, just their horses look great and they run great. That's what we're talking about, Brian Lynch. So let's go to race number 3, and we'll go back to that fast main track for race 3. 1 mile, claimers 4 and up, $12,500. One scratch near of number 4, Convolution. I went to the inside here with number 1, Native Gold, who's dropping to the $12,500 level. Looking to recapture the form he displayed during his previous campaign back on the Gulfstream main track. He had 7 races here with 3 wins, 2 seconds. It's Kirk Zadie. He's good with this type of layoff, almost 30%, and he readied this 3-time winner at the distance for the return with a half-mile bullet across down on a little bit deeper Gulfstream Park West training track. So I just thought Native Gold is a horse that you have on your ticket too. Basically an agreement. We just got him boxed around, but you did go with the number 2 horse, All-Star.
Yeah, All-Star will be making the turf to dirt move for trainer Marcus Vitale today. He's 26% in that category, and what I liked about this gelding is that he's actually done this before and done it successfully. Most recently scored a decisive 3 1/4 length victory. That was his most recent win. 2 starts back on January 30th. That win came after he made the turf to dirt move. And every time he's run at this level, he runs well. He's taken some steps up, hasn't fared as well, but when he drops down, he wins.
And Marcus Vitale, 26%, I believe, with horses going from turf to the dirt. We both used the 7 Capital City, who's going to debut today for Jose Garofalo via the claiming route after drawing away to win win at this level and distance. Won that race by almost 3 lengths.
Yeah,
nice performance.
Was a nice performance. He's going to be making the first start off the claim for trainer Jose Garofalo today, and he has some speed. That might have been why I didn't put him higher on the ticket, because there's some other speed in here.
Yeah, there's other speed in the race. So when you see our selections there in race number 3, we'll flip the page, go to race number 4. Going to continue to sprint, this time 3/4 of a mile. Claimers, fillies and mares, non-winners of 3 races in life, $6,250. Scratch the number 1, Blue Temptation. One of my selections here, but not my top selection. We both have the number 3, second base, who's going to move to the Mike Makabon V to claim. This one, the red flag's got to be flying. They claimed it last time out for $25,000. Right down to the $6,250 level. It showed brief speed in that race. I was a little shaky about putting this one on top.
I completely agree. For all of those reasons, I wasn't sure. On paper, she stands out as the class and the horse to beat, but at the same time, after being claimed for that much money, now being offered for such a low tag, why is she in this race? But owned by Ken and Sarah Ramsey, they claimed her. They're in the running. They're atop of the owner's standings right now. Maybe they just want to cushion that lead in the owner's standings, and they want to make sure that they win. So maybe this horse is absolutely fine, and it is exactly how we see her.
Yeah, and you've got to watch the tote action there, though. It's going to take a lot of money. You might be absolutely right about that. You know, down to the final days of the championship meeting, which ends on Sunday, as far as the trainer and owner standings and claiming rules and all that. That ends on Sunday, Easter Sunday, actually, April 5th. And then we start with our spring-summer meeting right here. And, you know, the jockeys start anew and everything. But the Rainbow Six, if it's not hit, that continues. Also, a horse that we both had on a ticket is number 6, Centella, ready to put this condition in the bank here after following our 2 lifetime claiming victory with a well-meant second at this level and distance. The trainer Bobby DeBona, he's got Eddie Castro named to ride, and I added the 2 Honey Boo Boo after the scratch of number 1, Blue Temptation.
And I added the 5, Ariel's Flyer. Getting back to her preferred surface, definitely runs much better on the dirt.
Yeah, and Honey Bunny Boo Boo going to try. You know, this horse can bounce back. Had a good performance. Then, you know, didn't run well. Come back. So the old bounce rebound angle. I thought maybe he'd take a chance. Mike Petro does an excellent job. So, horse, you know, when you want to go, this here is where the Rainbow Six starts today. So you're going to have to go a little deeper. We mentioned at the top of the show over $431,000 in the pool. So race number 4 with a 9-race card. I'm not sure that you can just say, okay, I'll just use the 3 and 6 here. I mean, I think you might have to go a little deeper.
I agree.
Let's go to race number 5. This one's 6 furlong starter, optional claimer, 4-year-olds and up, $10,000. Scratch the 3, the 4, the 6, and the number 8, Dixie Deputy. And we both went with the number 5, Quiz Whiz. And we want to go back and show you a performance from Quiz Whiz back in December.
Yes, I'm looking forward to seeing this horse run back today. He's been off for a little while. This is from the Claiming Crown Express Stakes here on opening day. Quiz Whiz is the horse in front, and you're going to see a familiar horse just nab him at the wire, and that is Lover Bill, who we saw here yesterday win a race. Very classy horse at this level, and I think you can say the same of Quiz Whiz. So consistent. He's going to be debuting for trainer George Navarro today, which I like very much. He's 28% with horses making their first start for him, and this horse has not finished off the board in 7 straight starts.
What I found interesting, too, if you look at the jockeying here, it's 10-pound apprentice John Cruz, so it looks like they also want to get the weight, so you would think this horse is going to be up there. And you saw Lover Bill close. He ran exactly the same yesterday to win the opening race. He just came from up the pace and just nails him at the wire. Quiz Whiz, for all those reasons, certainly the one to beat in there. A horse a lot of people might be thinking of singling. I went with the 9 in second, and that is right on course. Give it some time off after posting back-to-back sprint victories here during January and February. Jamie Ness, 22% with this kind of layoff. Jose Caraballo going for 3 in a row. This horse is in good form. Got a little time off. Jamie Ness, I think you got to use it on the ticket.
Agreeing. We both also used the 2 Pass Key, and my concern is this race is that there is a lot of speed. I know Quiz Whiz can rate, so we'll see if that does happen. Pass Key is a horse that I know will come from off the pace, and it could set up very well for him. He's only finished off the board once in 8 career starts, and he's won his last 2 starts from just off the pace.
You know, when you look at this race on paper with Quiz Whiz coming back off the long layoff. The horse that's supposed to win this race on paper, I believe, is the 2 Pass Key. The way it sets up and everything. With that said, I put it at third, but I actually wrote my analysis strictly to want to fear, because I agree with you wholeheartedly that he's going to sit a nice trip in there. Quiz Whiz is very classy. Does he need a race? 10-pound apprentice. It's sort of a guess, but number 2 Pass Key, it's got to be on somewhere on your ticket. Let's go to race number 6 of our 9-race card, 7.5 furlongs on the turf. Claimers 3 and up, non-winners of 2 races in life, $20,000. Scratch the 3 T-minus, the 8 personal start, and the main track only, number 13 Songa. And here's a race. I kept looking back. I looked at the tip sheet today. Everybody in town picked the number 1 horse in here, Victory Meet, except me.
Hey, well, tell us why you took all cash then.
I'll tell you why. Turning back to 7.5 furlongs, broke from a tough outside post last time out. That was post 13, setting the pace. Got beat. That was against $30,000 2 lifetime claimers, going a mile. Dan Peter, Edgar Zayas, rationing his speed today. Just thought he was a logical choice. Now, with that said, my top pick was the 8 in here personal start, so I actually moved into the 5 all cash.
I had Victory Mass on top from the start. I don't normally go with horses that are just coming off their maiden wins, because it's very tough to come back and face winners. But what I liked about this horse's maiden breaking victory was that the 2nd and 3rd place finishers came back to run 1-2 in their next start. So that made him look a lot better. Should get a perfect stalking trip in here. There's a lot of speed, and that's why I looked his way. Also, welcome back to jockey Ramsey Zimmerman. He's going to be aboard this gelding today.
Yeah, Ramsey Zimmerman was off for a while, so he's starting to ride again. We both have the number 12. I have it in 2nd. You have it in 3rd. British Glory looked like he was going to win his recent race at this level and distance before his 3.5 lead evaporated, and he finished 2nd, beating the neck. Tyler Gaffalione, we mentioned he's in good form, so thought it was a logical choice to have on the ticket.
Absolutely. I have him on the ticket as well. I also threw in Broadway Zen, going to be making his first start off the claim for trainer Bobby DeBona. This colt has been claimed out of his last 2 starts, so people are seeing something in him. Didn't fire as the favorite last time out, but the start prior he was beaten just a neck, ran 2nd that day, and he was 6th place for last year. He's run against much tougher.
Well, you see my 4 horse up there, Call Up the Chief. I pick a long shot each and every day, and this is my long shot today, 20-1 on the morning line. And you go back to his race at this distance back on February 19th. He ran a really good third. He was beaten only 1 3/4 lengths in that race. He was 49-1 that day. Turned back to 7.5 furlongs. You mentioned his speed in here. This horse likes to run from off the pace. If he gets a good trip at the 7.5 furlong distance, I think Call Up the Chief, and maybe it's a little bit of hunch play with the Chief, Alan Jerkins, and maybe he can get up there at a price. Someone I tell you to use on your exacta trifecta. If you're not in agreement with me with the win, this horse could be on the ticket at a price.
I was just going to say that could be a sentimental choice for a lot of people.
So let's go to race number 7, 1 mile on the turf. Maiden claim is 3 and up. $16,000. Scratch the 3 Plant City Robert. Also scratch both main track onlys, number 11 and number 12. Number 1 Swanee Sun. We both had this one on top of our ticket.
Looks like we're in complete agreement here. Swanee Sun first start off the claim for trainer Mike Maker, but what I like even more than that is the first time gelding angle for trainer Mike Maker. 29% in that category. I'm expecting he'll show some speed today in a field that lacks it, and Son of Kitten's Joy has to win on the grass eventually, right?
There's got to be a kitten every day here at Gulfstream Park. You mentioned Mike Maker. He's 29% with the first gelding angle. Number 9, very colorful, who we both have in 2nd, is dropping to the $16,000 level. If you look at its last race, he broke from post 11, goes up, he tracks the pace, 4 wide. He finishes 4th against $20,000 maidens at the same distance. It's Timmy Hills, the trainer, and here's Tyler Gaffalione, who seems to be getting an awful lot of live mounts, and I just thought this was a logical choice to be on the ticket.
I agree. Looking to regain some of the form that he showed when he finished 4th in a maiden special weight and was 2nd, beaten only a length at the $50,000 maiden claiming level. And he's breaking from the 9 today. That's actually way inside from what he's been running at. You mentioned he broke from post 11. Before that, he broke from post 16. So he could be looking and getting a much better trip today.
Yeah, he must have felt like he was running an extra 2 miles in those races.
This is across town.
5 straight to victory, both on the tickets, dropping today to the $16,000 level. Rushed up last time to stalk the pace. I thought it would be a useful debut, $20,000 career debut. It's Jane Sibeli with 20% with maidens making their second start. Angel Serpent in the saddle.
Also, a half-sibling to Grade 1 winner Rahi's Attorney.
So Rahi's Attorney, so we got some breeding there and good connection. Jane Sibeli, the trainer, has had a fantastic meeting. Let's go to race number 8 today, and this one is 1 mile on the turf. It's an allowance optional claimer, 4-year-olds and upward. And you see our selections up there, 3, 10, and 9. But I want to go back and show you a performance from my old buddy McElroy's, one of my favorite horses in here, and just want to show you the stretch run of this horse. He really finished a willing second this day, and I was pretty surprised to see that he ended up being the morning line favorite in here. He is the 2 horse, and I just like this horse. If you look, he loves this turf course. You know, he's always runs well in here. He's had 6 races, 2 wins, a second and 3 thirds. You see him right there, and he just gets caught in that, you know, blanket finish and just gets nipped at the wire. He's always been one of my favorite horses, so I wanted to go back and show you that rewind.
Also one of my favorite golfers.
Oh, yeah. Very good. But the number 3 with rhythm, we both have on top of our ticket, making its North American debut for trainer Christophe Clement, winning 2 of 3 turf races at a mile in France. And Clement, 37% with his first starts in North America, Lasix, and more importantly, it's the son, of The Way You Are, who is by King Mambo, who is one of my favorite turf sires.
Christophe Clement just did this exact thing on Saturday with Beauty Parlor in the Grade 3 Orchid, who ended up beating stablemate Top Breed. I think he'll do the same exact thing. This one looks like a very nice horse coming over from overseas, and I think it's just going to be a carbon copy of what happened on Saturday. Yeah, and through the years, Christophe has always really exploded with these horses during the month of April. Then he takes them around, wherever they go during the summertime. But he starts them off here in South Florida, and they always run well. And you're absolutely right. And all his horses have been run exceptionally well, even though, the Euroshippers that haven't run in a while. Number 9, School of Hard Knocks, was facing Grade 1, Grade 2, and Grade 3 competition. From Arlington to California, coming off the layoff for trainer Brian Lynch, who we talked about. First time for Brian Lynch, 29% with that angle, and this horse has got a lot of back class. I mean, he was in a race and they immediately put him in a graded stakes race after 1 or 2 starts. Absolutely, and you know what? He should really appreciate the class relief today, because he has won every non-stake start that he's ever made. Yeah, and he's going to be pretty square. I don't know what he is in the morning line, but he's got a pretty square price up there. I wouldn't be 5 to 1.
I wouldn't be surprised to see him go off at first or second choice in that race because of the connections and just that back class that he shows. Race number 9, 1 mile on the turf. These are maiden claimers, fillies, 3-year-olds, and we're going to have we got a couple of scratches in here of number 1, French Channel. I think it was both our top picks, or at least my top pick in here, and also scratched the number 10, Mama's Favorite. I was not, was my brother Lou, who's my mother's favorite, but that's a story for another day. We both went with the number 2, Westminster Road, is cutting back to a mile after recovering from a slow start to finish second, beaten just a half length against Similar, going a mile in the 16. The concern, Katie, this horse's penchant for finishing second. 7 starts, 3 seconds. Right, and I actually had Westminster Road at the top of my ticket from the beginning, and this seems to be a very suitable spot for her. She's really shown significant improvement since they added the blinkers 4 starts back, and her only off-the-board finish came at the $75,000 maiden claiming level, so this is a little bit lower than that. Boasts the highest last-out buyer of the field, and I think she's a logical choice here. Number 3, Bluegrass Special, who I also have on your ticket, is cutting back to this 1 mile distance after responding to the drop-down with that 4th place finish behind aforementioned Westminster Road. Marcus Vitale, Gabriel Saez in the saddle. I thought it was a logical choice to be somewhere on the ticket. Agree, and I also threw in Came Up Rosie, nice price at 10 to 1. The last time she ran at this level, she was 3rd, only beaten a length, and that was her turf debut. I think maybe dropping back to this level can give her a little bit of a boost. Number 4, Meet Me for a Smoke, is stepping up and stretching out to a mile. Bumped at the start last time out, dueled for the lead, finished a really good third in that race, was beaten only a half length. It was against $35,000. I sort of see this as a lateral move, and, you know, Dave Casson is the trainer. I just thought maybe this horse here, you know, can be on certainly the super high 5 ticket at a square price.
Yeah, and David Casson also had a win here yesterday.
So, yeah, we're naming these guys, and they're doing exceptionally well. Well, we got a fantastic day of racing today with a 9-race card. We mentioned the 11-race card tomorrow with our stake race, so it should be a lot of fun. But today, race number 4 kicks off that Rainbow Six, $431,000 plus in the pool.
And also our carryover in the Super High 5, that will be the 9th and final race of the day that we just talked about. So start handicapping and getting those bets in. Got a few races to prepare for that Rainbow Six jackpot. We'll see if it can get hit today.
Good luck, everybody.
Good luck.